Welcome to Dev Tech 101, aka Black Mentors. I discuss information technology, also known as IT. And in today's video, I want to provide you a motivating message for those of you out there that may feel like that you're not going to make it in IT because you don't have a specific amount of degrees, nor that you have the experience to get the job that you want. And where this came from is I was doing some reading online and I came across a post of somebody that was asking specifically on their particular feed as, are there certs in cybersecurity more important than a degree or otherwise? They also went on to say that please don't say experience is more important than those two, because how do you get experience if you are not provided an opportunity? And I want to talk about this today because there are some valid points that I want you to go through and make an effort for yourself, because I understand where you're coming from. I've been down that path. And once I realized my net worth and what I know how to do and what I absolutely have a passion for, nothing is able to stop me into learning. They also went on to say about the IT industry has been riddled with the paradox, but now with the need of security coming into the forefront, can companies continue to let this be their staple, even though they know their infrastructure is not standard, which is so true in so many different ways? Is it custom made to the services and the needs of the company? If you answer, give a good detailed answer and not the standard management non-technical opinion. And so management doesn't know what the company needs. What the people that truly know what the company needs in terms of what skill set you're looking for is the jobs you're going into. For example, if you have someone who is in the cybersecurity space, they understand what the needs are, and they will tell you that the skill set is definitely more important than the certifications, because the certifications just certify that you can pass a test. It does not mean that you can do the actual work. But what I want to let you know is I understand where you're coming from, because there are so many endless opportunities for growing and growth and learning. But you have to 110% take charge of your own education in technology, because no one is going to give that to you. And here are some different ways that you can do that. Self-taught, self-teach. Whether you taking online courses that you have to pay for through some university, or taking some courses through an online training platform, and I'll give you a list of those here in just a moment. But these type of tutorials and building these personal projects, whether you do it for home, for a friend's business, and engaging in technical communities by talking with someone who is in the tech space, I understand fully what this is about, because I actually talk to people all the time that have came to me, that have approached me with different questions, and I let them know, hey, this is the way that you should go about this, because I want you to be able to thrive and go even further from your journey. That means a person who is starting out, who doesn't know anything about technology, this is so possible for them to get into. Now, some examples of accessible tools that you can use for a number one free resource: YouTube. Go onto YouTube and just key in videos of what you are trying to learn, whether you're trying to learn Python, whether you're trying to learn PowerShell, whether you're trying to learn something about a cybersecurity tool, whether that's learning how to use Linux, how to build VMs and test like your coding, as far as you doing some ethical hacking. Like, there is so many different variations of that on there. You have coding platforms as well, whether that's Code Academy or Free Code Camp, those type of platforms that's on these YouTube sites, and there's also external, allows you to, maybe you may have to pay a fee to access it, but you're getting the knowledge behind it. So as you're working through and you're learning something new, you convert that into a project. How many times on the channel have I went in, I learned how to do a Raspberry Pi, you all. I created this experiment on this. I talked about it on my channel. I basically went on to Amazon. I bought this. I bought the parts, constructed it. I went on to Google Cloud Platform. I figured out how to get this code from a different site and how I coded that into this in order to create a weather radar that will basically push the image to my TV, and it's got all the different parts and everything in there. Like, you have to get the physical device, a project. You go online and figure out how cloud works, because everything is going to the cloud now. You figure out how that works by taking bits and pieces. You may have to read an article over here. You may have to watch a YouTube video over here. You may have to talk to a friend who knows more about tech than you over here. You combine those together and you learn that skill. So who's to say that you do end up getting a job down the line, or you create your own business and you get out there and you need to do a project to display something onto a monitor for an actual company? You will know and have the basis on how to do that. What I do not want you all to get out here and think is that just because you take a certification that is going to train you how to do this, just because you don't have the job that's paying you a salary or an hourly rate, just because you don't have that doesn't mean you cannot count that as experience. You can absolutely 100% count your personal self-taught experience as actual experience and use that when you're going out looking for jobs. You do not, under any circumstances, just depend on what you learned at a company and only count that as experience. You can absolutely use this, people. And I'm telling you this, you have to make sure that you are doing this. And I'm very, very passionate about this, particularly because I have worked with a couple of people who have or didn't know which direction to go. And I was able to provide them and lay out just a couple of things for them to check out. And they ended up learning more. They ended up self-teaching themselves a little bit more. And now they feel much more confident in the direction that they want to go in terms of technology. Now, once you have and you start to get into that self-taught experience, now it's time for you to build a portfolio of different things that you are building. So whether you're doing YouTube videos, whether you make sure that you document your learning experience, your process by creating projects or writing blogs or building an online portfolio, when you go to those particular job opportunities, you can actually showcase to them what you have been doing with your free time between your time having this job and what you plan to move to next. Now, there's different platforms you can store those on. You have GitHub with your online repository. You have LinkedIn, which people are starting to now post more about their personal life on LinkedIn more than anything right now. And also personal websites to basically showcase your work and your talent. What people have the misconception that is they think, okay, there's a job that I see online. I don't have the experience for it. Man, who's going to hire me if I don't have the experience? Because nobody's giving me the experience, nobody's hiring me so that I can learn to do this, to apply for this particular type of job. It's super simple, you all. And I'm definitely don't want to make it overcomplicated. I understand where you're coming from. I've been through this. What you have to do is I need you to at least write down a couple of points that you want to learn in IT, whatever that is. If you want to learn cybersecurity, you can say to yourself, hey, I want to learn a little bit much more about ethical hacking. And what I need you to do is to go into those platforms, whether you're paying for Pluralsight, whether you're paying for CBT Nuggets, which is a really great example of some cybersecurity, a different training, and I also have certifications on it if you decide to get that. I will only get the certifications if you absolutely sure that is the path that you want to go in terms of staying in that role and making it a career. Not necessarily staying in the specific job title role, but staying in the field itself. So if you're definitely new coming into the space, definitely use that. Now, CBT Nuggets and all these companies I named, Free Code Camp, YouTube, Code Academy, I'm not endorsed by any of these companies. I'm just basically giving you resources that I've actually seen, have pointed other people to them to let them know, hey, this costs, this doesn't cost, this is what you need to look at, because you're building your portfolio. And what this will do, this will definitely give you the mindset to shift to this self-teaching philosophy as an investment into yourself, because nobody's going to invest more into you than yourself, especially in the technology space. I consistently invest in myself all the time. I do not depend on companies to train me in specific types of software. I do not leave my career in the way that I want to move in my career as far as tech, I do not leave that up to the company to teach me that. Any company, I take control of my career, my education, and where I want to go. And I use that as a motivating tool to learn even more, because that makes me much more of a better person. It helps me increase my skill set, and it helps increase your market value. Whether you want to move on to somewhere else and get a higher salary, or if you want to move and start your own business, there are so many opportunities out there, people. And a lot of you are not realizing that, because you are stuck in this loop of getting cert after cert after cert after cert. And while you're paying money for these certs, you're not moving up in the company that you're in. So you have to be able to come back to the bargaining table, and you have to be able to understand and say, hey, this is what I'm doing right here. This is what direction that I want to move. If you cannot find what you're looking for in the current role that you're in, move on to something new that's going to value not only your mindset, but your skill set and your advancement opportunities. You have to invest 100% in yourself. Now, once you're investing in yourself, it might not earn you money immediately, but the internal knowledge that you have is going to gain you some invaluable insight that nobody can take away from you. It is going to lead you to paid opportunities later down the line. So as you network with more and more people in the tech space, there may be people who may be on higher levels than you who will remember your name. They may call you to work on some projects with them. There is so many endless opportunities there. But don't get discouraged about any of this. 100% own your path, your career path, your ambitions, your goals. Own that, and do not depend on a company to give you direction, people. You have to depend on yourself and grow. That's how you grow in this tech space. So most definitely take ownership. If you didn't take anything from this particular message, start small, stay consistent, and that's going to contribute to the steps of your expertise. And definitely have a focus. Do not be a jack of all trades. Have a focus in on that, move forward in your career. So most definitely like, listen, and subscribe to this channel, DevTech 101, aka Black Mantle. Look forward to bringing more technology content to you all soon.